and welcome to this episode of Criminal Genealogy. I'm Gwen, I am your host, and I am the criminal genealogist. As I promised, I said that I would do an episode showing how I organize my genealogy. So I'm going to do the best I can. My hanging file folders and stuff are in the storage shed outside, so I didn't get those. But you know what hanging file folders are. So this is what I have. I have a box. It's a big box. And this is what I hold my cards in. This is just part of what I do. So I have these large index cards. And this is my great-grandfather, John Edgar Robertson. This is my mom's side. And as how I started this was, look on your 15 generation pedigree chart. He is B12. So he's going to be on here as B12, and he's going to be that number forever. And most pedigree charts have an explanation on them on the side of how to use them. In case you're wondering, the numbering system, which I can go into it. That'll be a whole nother video. So I take these cards and I'll do one for him. And on here I have all of the records and everything that I have collected. So I have family history, I have photocopy of a picture of him and his wife, I have cemetery records and a map of the cemetery, I have his death certificate from Iowa, I have pedigree charts from my great aunt Ella Springer. Her name was Ella Robertson Springer. 1900 census from Woodbury County, Iowa, the 1930 census from Woodbury County, Iowa, 1920 census from Sioux City, Iowa, and I have photos from a cousin of mine. I'm not going to mention her name because she's alive. So I have him as a white card. Then I'll do his wife in pink, but she's going to be in her own, she has her own number and everything, so she's going to be filed under her maiden name only. For females, you only use their maiden name. You do not have to hyphenate married names and all that garbage. It is way too messy and complicated, especially on Ancestry, because if you have the husband attached to her, you already have the married name. And if you don't know who the husband was, but you just have his last name, just put in spouse and put in that last name. It'll work. Okay, so then I have his children. I have Harry, and I have him numbered B12-1. So he is the first child, and he will go behind his dad, who is B12. And because these are not on my pedigree chart, this is how I number them. So I have newspaper clippings and census records for him. And then his sister was B12-3. And I used purple for her, blue for him. And then another son, Louis Anthony, I used green for him. So I color code them. So the cards that I have, blue, purple, pink, green, and yellow. And I try and use the blue and green and yellow. Like yellow I'll use for his wife, and then pink and purple for the girls, and blue and green for the boys. But you can color code it any way you want. If you want to use all white, use all white. It's perfectly okay. All right, so that's that part. Then I have hanging file folders. This says B12 on it. So in this hanging file folder, I have all his records. Now I wrote, this is way before the internet, I wrote and got all these records. I got his cemetery records, death certificates, all that kind of stuff. And then inside of here, I have manila file folders for each one of the children. And inside these, I put an internet research log when I'm doing research on them. I just print out all my printouts, like census records. I also print out a family group sheet that I put in the front of the folder. And I put in these, I put an individual. I print out an individual sheet. I forgot what they're called, sorry. This one here, I have letters that she had written me before she died. I have a photo of her and her husband that was sent to me. I also have a Christmas letter that she had sent out to family. All this kind of stuff should go in here. Keep it all organized. And that is how I keep all my genealogy stuff together and how I do my research. I also try and keep a map at the front, and I color code the map of all the places that he had lived. It's easier to do your research. I can just whip out the map and say, oh, I don't have this census record or city directory or whatever else I need to look for. I also have in here something that's very important. Letters that I wrote to places to get records. Like this one here says, it's dated May 5th, 2004, is asking for a funeral record. And I have a return stamp of where I lived at the time. And my email address is on here. And what was I asking for in this letter? A funeral record that you may have for Nina Alda Johnson, maiden name Robertson. She died September 9th, 1958 in Verndale, Minnesota. Also, Ella Mae Johnson, maiden name Robertson. She died the 17th of June, 1925 in Verndale. Also, Elmer Allsworth Robertson, who died May 15th, 1924 in Verndale. And then I asked them if they didn't have the records, if they could refer me to who would have the records. And then I put a self-addressed stamped envelope in here. And then when I got this back with my record, I attached their envelope to it. So I could keep track of all the places that I have gotten records for. Here's another one that I did. This is way back before the internet. This is actually a place that I got a funeral record from. So it's just easier to keep track of everything that way. And then there's all kinds of charts and forms that you can get and print out for free off the internet. If you're a member of Ancestry, they have free ones on their site that you can print out and use them. They have research logs, they have all kinds of stuff. I know Ancestry very, very well. I have used Ancestry from day one. So if you have any questions, please feel free. I will answer them. I get notifications every time I get a comment or someone that subscribes to my channel. By the way, if you would please click the subscribe button down there, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll be doing more and more videos. I'll do more like this, and then I would like to do, I have a few more of the criminal genealogy ones that I will be doing also. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something. Oh, and I wanted to show my t-shirt. My criminal genealogy group on Facebook just loves my coffee stuff. So there's my coffee. But first, coffee. before anything else. Thank you guys. Love you all. Have a happy, happy, happy evening. Bye.